Yo, this is Jay from Straight Smoke Gaming, and in today's video, we're doing another Thursday Night Football. Madden builds us a parlay. This week, we have the Houston Texans at the New York Jets. Let's take a look at last week, though. Our parlay did not hit. Sam Darnold, he hit on his line. Jordan Addison and Cooper Kupp both missed, so they're the reason that parlay did not hit last week. But like I was saying, Texans at the Jets. Two interesting teams here. The Jets, supposed to be a good team. They got a talented roster, but the team's struggling. They recently fired their head coach. They're going through play calling changes and all those fun things. And the Texans, they're just dealing with a lot of injuries right now. Nico Collins is on the IR. They just found out a couple days ago Stephon Diggs tore his ACL, so he's done for the year. So they're going into this game missing their wide receiver 1 and 2, so might look for some other guys to step up. Let's go ahead and see how it goes. So if you're a guy who likes to bet on money line or spread, you're going to want to pick the Texans. They end up winning 31-28. This was a game that went to overtime, I will note. But we bet on player props with Prize Picks. So let's take a look at some player stats. C.J. Stroud, 274 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Honestly, a pretty good game for Stroud, considering who he will be throwing the ball to, missing his wide receiver 1 and 2. If I was a Texas fan and my guy did that, I'd be happy with that. Rodgers, 253, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Honestly, a pretty good game for Rodgers, based on how this team's struggling. A game like that, he might help this team kind of get back on track and get into the win column. So let's go ahead and take a look now at rushing yards, starting off with the New York Jets. You got Breece Hall, 13 attempts, 50 yards, 1 touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 6 attempts, 17 yards, no touchdowns. And then we also have Braylon Allen, 4 attempts, 16 yards, and 1 touchdown. So both of the big running backs getting to the end zone with Hall and Allen. And then you got this other running back down here. He gets another attempt. I don't know him. He's honestly pretty irrelevant because of how good Braylon Allen's been in his rookie year. But overall, pretty good game for the running backs. Both of your main running backs see the end zone. Joe Mixon, he has 13 attempts, 49 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I look for Joe Mixon to have a big game here with a game where your wide receiver 1 and 2 are hurt. I imagine you're going to run the ball and lean on your running back more. Stroud had 5 attempts for 30 yards. And then this fullback, he gets 1 attempt for 5 yards. Never heard of him. Probably not going to happen if I'm being honest with you. Taking a look at receiving, we're going to start with Texans. Tank Dell, 6 receptions, 100 yards, no touchdowns. Pretty good game in his game where he is now forced to be the wide receiver 1 because of injuries. So, honestly, if Dell did that, I'd be pretty happy. John Mechie, 6 receptions, 59 yards, and 1 touchdown. John Menchie's a guy that I actually really liked, so I would like to see him have a good game. Dalton Schultz, 4 receptions, 54 yards. This is a guy that's been struggling all year. So, I mean, I would take that if he does that. I mean, I have him in my fantasy. He's been underperforming all year. Robert Woods, 2 receptions, 28 yards, no touchdown. And then you got Joe Mixon at 2 receptions for 32 yards and no touchdown. And then the fullback gets 1 reception for 1 yard and a touchdown. Probably not going to happen, though. Taking a look at the Jets, you got Davante Adams with 6 receptions, 106 yards, no touchdowns. Pretty good game for Davante Adams. No surprise, he leads the team in receptions. That's Aaron Rodgers' favorite player, obviously. And then you got Tyler Conklin, 5 receptions, 39 yards, and he does get into the end zone. So that'll be something to watch out for. Garrett Wilson, 4 receptions, 40 yards, also sees the end zone. Pretty good game for Garrett Wilson as he's now the wide receiver 2 with Davante Adams being there. Malachi Corley, a guy that was supposed to be really good in the offseason, 2 receptions, 22 yards, no touchdown. I do think he has a chance to be really good with the Jets. Just with them trading for Davante Adams, it really kind of moves him farther down on the depth chart because this guy's also here. Allen Lazard, 1 reception, 26 yards, no touchdown. This guy played in Green Bay with Rodgers, so that's obviously him and Davante are probably his preferred targets, with Garrett Wilson being the third option, favorite guys to throw to, and then Conklin and then Corley. So it's probably just hard for Corley to get on the field, if I'm being honest with you. But this is what we came up with. We're going to be taking the over on Dalton Schultz receiving yards. We're also going to be taking the over on Davante Adams receptions. And then for the last leg, we're going to be taking Joe Mixon to get into the end zone. Like I was saying, I think Joe Mixon is going to have a big game. Whether it's receiving, rushing, it doesn't matter. Just needs to get in the end zone. Dalton Schultz, over 42.5 receiving yards. With the injuries at the wide receiver position, I could see him having a big game. I could see them leaning on him a little bit more than they have in recent weeks because, I mean, John Menchie's now your wide receiver 2, who's normally like a wide receiver 5 or 6. And then you got Davante Adams with 5 receptions. Like I was saying earlier, this team is struggling. They need to get back into the win column. And I think the way Rodgers and Adams do that is just getting on the same page. They're going to target each other a ton in this game, in my opinion. That was $10 to win $47.50. Total, we have about $30 that we've won, that we're up on the year. We do $10 every week. We hit one earlier in the year where we won a lot of money, so we're still up $30. But obviously, we're trying to add to that. We're trying to cover the $70 game fee. But when it comes to this video, that's all we got. So if you enjoyed, please remember to like and subscribe for more Madden content, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.